Okay, so we're gonna start that. All right. I think that's good. I feel like it's, okay, that's good. I just can't quite tell for some reason if this angle's
I
gonna
have to
work.
give it permission to use the camera.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna mute you and then we'll get started. Let's grab our backs. Oh my God, I just read the word back and I said that. Let's grab our straps today. And I'm gonna mute you guys. There we go. All right, and then I gotta make this a little bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Spotlight. There we go. Okay. And if you guys ever have any friends that you know from yoga or like other classes that you do virtually or anything and you want to share with them, they're always welcome to join us, or they can also even just, you know, go to the YouTube videos or YouTube channel as well. Okay, I think that stuff is out of the way. Okay, the straps handy. We won't need them immediately, but we will in a few minutes. I want to do a little bit more hip work. Can't remember if we did that last week. I don't think so. Anyway, so once you're comfortable on your mat, okay, that looks better than I thought it did. Eyes are closed, and just take a moment, kind of, you know, whatever's been going on so far today, just kind of, you know, quit thinking about it and think about, you know, getting prepared for yoga for the best possible outcome. You know, there's a lot of factors that are possible to affect it in a good or bad way, right? Let me make sure my volume's up. There we go. So we always want to try to prepare for the best outcome, so that's starting to focus on breathing, slowing it down, inhaling, exhaling through the nose, inhaling and letting that breath come in and gradually start expanding throughout the body, right? We want to get the lungs involved. You're going to feel the ribs kind of move out. You're going to get this all the way to the belly, and don't force it to happen. Just be aware of it and be conscious about how you're letting that breath progress, all right? So trying to keep the body in the most relaxed, comfortable position for now. And you might get there quicker. You know, we do have to been doing this for a very long time. However, if it's taking a little bit longer, that's fine. When we do start moving and using a strap on all that, you can always work at your own pace. You can always catch up with me whenever. I think you guys know that. Anybody that else might be watching, you should know that as well. So you want to just be prepared. Also take that breath in, kind of notice if you're still thinking about anything. And as you exhale again, just kind of let those thoughts go. You'll have them later today. You don't need them right now. So now breathing easily, expanding all the way to the belly. Slowly exhaling once again, letting that tension just flow out of the body. We don't need it for our yoga practice. And as we start going into our bent knees pose, we want to move slowly. Heels are going to line up with the hip, and we're just going to kind of lift your hips up and see if you can move them down just a tiny bit, get the spine a bit longer. Allow your lower back to curve, right? It's not going to touch the mat. Arms are going to be right next to the body, and feel like pulling those shoulders apart from each other, and then arms come to the mat. But don't be forceful in holding things down. Allow your body to be the way that it is. Still feeling that breath coming all the way into the belly. Still feeling the exhalation. And again, inhale. And exhale. And hopefully our breathing is about the same length. You know how to check that. So we'll do two more here before we start adding some movement into it. Again, we're going to do just a little bit of warm up for our hips first before we grab our strap. There's my strap. You want to have it close by so you don't have to move around once you're on the mat. So take another breath in and out here. And then that next inhale, we're going to let the arms come up off the mat. We're going to stretch all the way back if we can, and then exhale, bring those arms back to the mat. And on the mat, I want you to rest and have a breath cycle without movement. So inhale again, exhale, and then again, inhale, arms go with that breath in, they stretch all the way overhead, reach with those fingertips. Exhale, bring the arms back down to the mat. And again, once your arms are on the mat, stay there, inhale, exhale. And now we're ready for some continuous movement. So we're gonna take the arms over the head, inhale. And exhale, bring them right back down to the mat. I'm trying to move those blocks out of my way. And right away, inhale, arms overhead. Wait. And exhale, bringing the arms back down. And we'll just do a few of those. Remember, work at your own pace. You might breathe a lot slower or faster than me, but if it's a normal, slow breath for you, that's what counts, is listening to your own body, how it wants to work. Let's do a couple more. All right. Now we're going to take the arms over the head on the inhale. And on this exhale, just pull that right knee in. Give it a little stretch here. What we're trying to pull or feel is at the back of the leg, right? And then as you reach overhead again, that foot's going to go back to the mat. Now exhale, bring that left knee in. And inhale, reach overhead. So let's just continue the overhead stretch every time we're inhaling. And as you're exhaling, you're doing a little gentle knee pull, starting to move those hamstrings a little bit. Let's go right and left one last time. Again, don't rush through any of the movements. You certainly don't have to stay up exactly with what I'm doing. Okay, so when you get to the right leg, we're going to stay just a little bit longer. So hold the knee in. Gently pull it towards you. And right away, you can start to move it around a little bit, right? You don't even have to hold the leg if you don't want to, but I want you to start noticing if you move the knee and how that affects the leg as it's up in the hip. Start to move around, and if you notice something that's a little tight, so you don't have to just do constant circles, but little movements, and if you notice things are tight, see if you get a little bit more range of motion there, just moving things around, and it's always pretty slowly if you're feeling tight. If you're not, you might be able to move quicker, but I'm like the Tin Man at this point. I'm like, need the oil can, need to get things moving slowly. So after you've moved the hip just a little bit, extend the leg and flex and point the foot. Because of course, once we have a strap on this foot, we can't really move it as much. So notice again how that feels. Circle the ankle several times each way. All right. And then we're just going to extend, just kind of notice what you can do. Hips haven't changed, leg is extended, hands can be anywhere, don't force anything. But kind of notice where you can go with pretty minimal amount of warm up. And then we're just going to bring the foot back down. I want you to lift the hips up again. I want you to resettle everything onto the mat. Take the breath in and out. And then that next inhale, take the arms over the head. Exhale now, bring in your other knee, left knee, most likely. Bring the left knee in. If you happen to do them in the opposite order, it never matters. You can always just make sure you get both of them done. And same thing, we're holding the knee in just a little bit longer. And the first movement we do is just kind of checking in with that hip joint, moving the knee around, real easy. I mean, there's almost no wrong move you can do, right? It's just kind of, if something is painful, obviously your body's not liking it, then ease out of it. But any kind of little movements that you notice that start to let things loosen up. And again, kind of moving around nice and easy. All right, now we're going to extend that leg up and go through the same thing, foot and ankle warm up. Same thing, any kind of movements that help you. Now, same thing, after you've got that all warmed up, go a little deeper into your hamstring stretch. Again, this is where you can go without doing a whole lot more. All right. And then one more thing we're gonna do before we get into our strap work is I want you to bring the other foot up and just go into happy baby and let those legs drop open. Like even if they feel really tight right now, maybe you wanna just drop the knees open a little bit, out and in, or you wanna come into that happy baby, grabbing the toes or the feet and rocking and rolling a little bit. I just want you to kind of let the inner thighs stretch a little bit, because you know we're going to do that one-legged stretch with the strap where we open out to the side. So just anything that seems to help you right here. All right, now bring the knees together into the chest, roll your back a little bit. So when we get into working with our strap, it's really important that we're not letting the hips move around, that we are working on the rotation of the hip. We'll be doing the external and then the internal. And so we just want to make sure that everything's kind of reset. So bring the feet down, get the back comfortable. Now I'm going to start on my right leg. You can start on whichever one works best for you. I like my strap to be open most of the time. If you want to loop yours or you like it like that, that's fine too. When it's looped, you can get away with just using one hand on the strap if you want the whole time. But I like to have it under my foot and use both of my hands, and that way I feel like I don't have to use as much energy or force with that, just the hand that's on the strap. So as you strap the foot, notice where you put the strap. Again, try to keep it under from the ball of the foot to the outside, right? Not into the arch. And nothing else is really changing here, especially where the hips are in relation to each other. Never pull so hard that your arms get tired, your hands get tired, you feel like you're doing a workout. It's not that at all. We're using our hands to help us with a little bit of outside pressure, right? So on the inhale, I want you to press your heel away from you and feel the back of that leg like somebody's just pulling it and do a little bit longer stretch. Now exhale, use the strap now to take it in a little bit. And you might not see it move a whole lot, that's okay. Inhale again, press that heel out. We want to feel the back of the leg as fully extended. And on the exhale, we just pull it in. Now, can you have your knee bent? Absolutely. Find out what works best for you. I don't, for me, I find they're both about the same. And I'm just a little bit more used to having my legs straight. But if you have the type of knees that kind of, how would I explain it? Hyperextended is what I'm trying to say. If you have the type of knees that when you straighten your leg, it looks like it's bending backwards a little bit, you don't want to really lock that knee out. Keep it soft. All right, so you get into that maximum stretch. And again, I like to just keep taking my arms out away from the body. You have a little bit more room than if you try to pull the elbows right next to the torso. But again, figure out what's going to work the best. Now, get into your maximum stretch. Should be a little bit of a challenge here. Take another breath or two. Try to get it to get more comfortable. You can move your hands if you need to. And we're going to try to keep that leg where it is and let the other leg stretch all the way out. So the front of that hip might take it a moment to lengthen. So I'm stretching the front of the hip on the leg that's down on the mat, stretching the back of the leg on the extended leg. And pretty much you're gonna feel, I do feel it from my heel all the way up, but I feel deeper stretch from behind the knee going up into the hip. All right, 2 more breaths here. All right, into the inner thigh. So only one hand here, the same hand as you have the leg up. Other hand goes to the front of that hip. We don't want to roll off of our hip. Inhale here, exhale, open slowly. If you need to pause, pause right there. Inhale again. Exhale, you can drop it, open. You might get all the way out on that first breath, doesn't matter. Listen to your body. As the leg goes further, don't let this hip come up to where the hips are rolling open or rolling over to that side. We want to keep the hip square. Flex your other foot. If you were standing on your foot, you would have this leg moving out to the side, hopefully balancing, right? But that would be the energy that you would need. Now you can relax the foot of the bottom leg, that's fine. Or you can keep it flexed, but that's how it would feel. You would need that kind of energy if you were trying to do this as a balance, standing up. 2 more breaths here. Really try to enjoy and let that inner thigh just slowly open more. Next inhale, bring the leg up. We're going to change hands immediately. And as we exhale, we're taking that leg across. This arm's going to go down to the floor. Now you do want to keep the shoulders even, but we aren't concerned about that right hip anymore. It is up off the floor, allowing us to go deeper. If you need to bend the knee, a little bit less intense, you can do that. Again, I'm by the wall. I can cheat, not really cheating. I'm using the wall as some external support. I find this one really challenging. So instead of just having to hold my leg so much, I can kind of rest the inside edge of my foot against that wall, and I still am getting a tremendous stretch on the outside of the hip here. Stay a little bit longer if you can. Now, as we bring the leg back up, we're going to bring both hands back onto that strap. You can go back into your maximum stretch here, and or bring the upper body up, but kind of bring your head in toward that knee. And then slowly come back down. Let's go ahead and just switch feet, right? If that makes it a little easier for you. But then do check and make sure that as you get the hips back on the mat and the other knee bent, that you can tell if your hips are still aligned with each other. All right. And then we work into our hamstring stretch. So on the inhale, lengthen and press your heel away from you. And as you exhale, start working into that deeper stretch. Give yourself some time here. Again, see where you can go. Don't expect it to be a huge difference. If you do know that you can go a lot deeper with the strap, then by all means do that. Now we're going to keep that there. We're going to stretch the other leg all the way out. Oh, doesn't that feel good? All right. Another breath or two here. And then we're getting ready to go into that internal stretch. So we're going to hold the strap with the same hand. We're opening that leg externally. So make sure that you keep this other hip down. Take a breath in and out. And prepare on the next one. Inhale, exhale, let that leg drop open. Again, maybe you go just a little bit and you need to inhale again. And exhale, and allowing that leg to go where you can. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Again, and just making sure that this hip is staying attached, even rolling up a little bit. You can feel the difference between the hip starting to turn and keeping that hip down. So same thing, I'm gonna rest against the wall a little bit. So notice again, the foot can be relaxed, that might feel good. Flex it at least once so you can imagine what this would feel like if you were standing strong on that leg, using that external leg as balance. That would be a hard one. It is a hard one. But then you can also let the leg relax, or the foot relax. So 2 more breaths here. All right, getting ready to come out of it. So inhale, bring the leg up. We change hands immediately. We exhale and let that leg go across. And you can't see it, but I'm keeping that other shoulder down. Leg can be, you know, you can bend it. You can have it straight. You can have it lower. You can have it higher. Breathe through it. If it's got things that are kind of like, ooh, this is a tough one. Let your body know it's okay. Take that slow breath in. On the exhale, your body can relax a little more. And then slowly bring the leg back up. We're going into our hamstring stretch again. I want you to use both hands. And then maybe bring the head up. All right. Let's move that strap off to the side. You might want to use it later. But for now, yeah, actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to use it when we balance today. We're going to try a leg extension just in front, not external. But so do keep that strap nearby just so you can grab it and try it. All right, so rolling a little bit. All we're going to do from here is roll over and come onto the belly. Let's see where we are time-wise. Wow, pretty good. All right, so come onto the belly. Stretch your legs out long. Tops of the feet on the mat. We're going to bring our hands right kind of in front of the shoulders, not too close to the head, but we're going to tuck your elbows and upper arms into near the rib cage. And I want you to start by just pulling the belly in a little bit. I hope you can hear me with my mouth down into the mat. Contract the belly. Inhale, lift only your forehead and look straight down. And now squeeze between the shoulder blades. Stay there. Inhale, lift a little higher. Maybe the heart can come up. We're taking our gaze in front of the mat, not directly in front of us. We want to keep our neck long. Stay here, exhale. Inhale, lift just a little higher. Make sure the belly's still tight. Exhale, lower. You can turn your head to one side. So we're just easing into our cobra with this. I really want you to be aware of not straining the lower back and working on the back bend that's happening from between the shoulder blades up through the neck, right? The very upper part of the back, which is very tight for most of us, right? And for a lot of us, it's rounded forward. So we're really working on, think of your spine going longer. And then the very top of it is where we're lifting the heart and working on that cobra pose. So let's try it again. Bring the hands kind of right above the shoulders. Tuck the elbows in. Forehead's on the mat. Pull the belly a little tighter. Inhale, lift just the forehead. Keep eyes down. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together more. Keep the belly tight. Inhale, lift the heart. Look just at the front of your mat. Stay there, exhale. Inhale, lift a little more between the shoulder blades. And exhale. This time, as you come down, bring your hands a little further back and push yourself up to all fours. Take a moment to get everything aligned. I want to get my hair out of the way. So on all fours, remember that we want to have the fingers spread out. And we're supporting our body weight in just 4 points. 2 hands, 2 knees. The feet are just resting. Don't put too much energy back into those feet, too much force. into them, all right? If you need to tuck the toes under, if your feet cramp, then that's fine too. Now I can look at my camera and I can see if I'm not lined up. And sometimes you can't tell, your hips could be just a little bit forward or your hips could be a little bit behind the knees. Same thing with the shoulders. You could have your hands a little bit behind the shoulders. So just kind of take a minute, make sure that you can line up the best way you can. Feel those 4 points. Now inhale, go into that feeling that we just did with our cobra. Pull the belly in just a little bit. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Lift the tailbone now. Now exhale into cat pose. Pull in the belly really tight. This is where we're going to work those abdominals. Now inhale, let the belly expand as you come into cow. And exhale, arch up into cat. And go through those two a couple more times. Inhale to cow one more time. Exhale to downward dog. Tuck the toes under. You can walk the hands a little more forward if you need to. Feel that stretch through the sides of your body. The head's just hanging here. Move it. Allow it to move gently. Press out of the hands. You don't want to feel that weight going into the hands. Press out of your palms and lengthen your arms. Shift your weight from one foot to the other. Do that a couple of times. Walk yourself to the front of your mat. Come to a forward bend. You can bring those feet under you however you need to. Maybe you want to have your blocks handy nearby. Hands can be on the blocks or the floor. Now tighten the belly more as you make your way upright. Once you're up, shoulders up and back. Remember, we want to think about lifting that heart in the front. Come to your mountain pose. Now remember, we've always got the option of our traditional, which is big toes and joints touching. For a lot of people, myself particularly, when I do this, I rotate my knees in slightly. I don't know if you can tell, which is not really ideal posture. So for me, I like my feet just slightly apart. And then I'm more aware of tightening the backside and having my knees facing forward where they should be. So we come to our mountain pose. We want to really work that shoulders up and back and feel that little lift happening in the chest the whole time. A couple of times I want you to circle your hands one way. Warm up the wrist a little bit and then the other way. All right. And then come to mountain pose and take another breath in and out. Feel this all the way to the belly still. And then inhale, bring the arms up. Hands together, exhale, roll yourself slowly down into a forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. You can use the legs or the blocks here to extend the body, help give you a little support. But the belly's pulling tight also. We're lifting that heart in front. Exhale, back into your forward bend, rolling back up. So you can let the knees bend just a little. Roll up, let the head be the last thing up. Once your eyes are forward, again, rolling the shoulders up and back. Come to mountain pose, take a breath in and out. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, rolling down a second time. When we do this again, you've always got the option of continuing the roll up and down because it's a little easier on the back, right? Inhale, extend halfway, lift the heart forward. Exhale, forward bend. Rolling back up, take your time. Once again, arms out and up, hands to the heart, and back to mountain pose. So we're gonna do it a couple more times. I'm gonna go into the dive, down and up, you don't have to. We are gonna go into some warrior work from our downward dog. I think last week we kept it really easy and we didn't do that, but I want you to just be aware of that. So if you want to approach it a different way, you can. You don't have to always do it that way if you're not feeling that energetic or working at that level right now. I don't know what's going on here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's giving me a weird thing like click if you want to go to a microphone, but I don't know. Okay. If not, I guess you're just following me by watching. Okay, I don't know. Here we go. Arms up, inhale. Now this time I'm gonna dive into that forward bend. So I'm gonna lead with my heart. Again, do the one that's gonna work for you. I come all the way forward, just like we did before. We always end up in the same place. Inhale, extend the back. Now, pause here a little bit longer. You can take one or both hands off the blocks or off the leg and reach back. Now, as you do that, don't let the shoulders roll in toward each other. Pull them back, lengthen the neck, shoulder blades together, and feel like your heart lifts forward a little bit. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, lift a little more. Exhale into your forward bend. Rolling up on that next inhale or extending, reverse dive, come all the way up. Look at those hands. You can either bring them through the heart or open and find your mountain pose again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend, however you choose to get there. Inhale, lift halfway, extend. Once you've got the upper body in place, options to go here. Maybe you want to take the arms further out, palms down, side, or reaching forward. Wherever you have room and whatever your body wants today. Take a breath in and out here. Inhale, lift a little more. Exhale into your forward bend. This time we're going to step into our plank pose. So come into your plank or modify it just by dropping the knees. Body stays straight. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower to the mat. Inhale to cobra. We've already warmed this up. How does that cobra feel now? Exhale, move to child's pose. Arms stay here. We're going to drop those hips back and stretch. Feel this all the way through the arms, the sides of the body, into the shoulders. Come into your downward dog. Move around if you still need to, if you're not feeling it fully as deeply as you like to. Use your exhales to get deeper and longer into that downward dog. All right, getting ready to step to warrior one. So think about how you want to approach it. Sometimes it helps to look forward. Think about where you're going to plant that foot. Step it through. Step the left foot in. You know about how far back you can go. Don't go so far that the body cannot face forward. Square your hips, arms up, shoulders down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach the fingertips a little higher. Exhale, squeeze into those cactus arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Open it up now to the side of your mat. Make sure the body comes around, but the knee does not. Look over that right hand. Reverse warrior, right arm up and back. We don't change the leg, right? We move the body up and back. Back to warrior two. Side angle pose. Use the front leg for support. Reach that left arm straight up. Option to then angle it over the left ear, not too low, not touching the head. Inhale, back to warrior two. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, come back to your warrior one. Inhale, lift the left heel up. Balance in your high lunge or your crescent moon. Take a breath in and out. Now prepare, inhale, twist, exhale, twist to the right. Make sure the body doesn't lean too far forward or back. Try to spiral that upper body around. Inhale back to your high lunge. Exhale down to exhale down to downward dog. All right, 3 breaths here. I'm going to flip around to my other side of the mat. We're going to do exactly the same thing. If you want to go to child's pose, please do take a little rest. Join us again when you're ready. All right, so we're going from downward dog to warrior 1 on the left. So when you're ready, step that left foot through. Right foot comes up. If I come up and I'm not where I want to be, I'm just going to take a moment, fix my pose, have everything facing front knee bent, back leg straight. Again, the foot's turned out, but again, don't let the hip go with it. Arms up. Find that warrior 1. Settle into that. All right, take another breath in and out. Next, inhale, extend the fingertips. Exhale, come into those cactus arms. Lift your heart. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Open up to the other side of your mat. Make sure you take a quick look at the foot alignment. Energize the arms. Don't just let them hang here. Energize. Look over that left hand. Reverse warrior. Remember, we keep that knee where it is. Bring the arm up. Back to warrior 2. Side angle pose. Lean in. Take that right arm, reach straight up. And then again, that option to go into our extended side angle. And inhale, come all the way back up. All right, take one more breath in and out here. Now inhale, come back to your warrior 1. Exhale, settle into that. Make sure it feels good again. Inhale, bring the right heel up. Exhale, come into your high lunge. Find your balance here. A breath in and out. Inhale again. Exhale, twist left. Right arm reaches around to the front. Left arm around to the back. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, all the way back down to your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. And then you're going to walk your feet to the top of the mat, come to your forward bend. Roll up. Come all the way up to mountain pose, hand to the heart, and back to mountain pose. So, I said we're going to do a little bit different balance today. Let's see where we are. We have plenty of time. Grab your strap if you want it. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay, and again, you can go to the wall sideways, behind you, whatever. So what we're going to do, instead of having our leg extended out in front, we're going to try to do it, or to the side, we're going to try to do it to the front. But first of all, before you do that, let's do it with a bent leg. So, stand up nice and tall, have your strap nearby, pull in tight. Just like with tree pose, when we bring one foot off the ground, don't have a tremendous shift of weight, right? You have to shift a little bit, but we want to try to keep our body tall. Now, all I'm going to have you do is bring that right knee up in front. This is where you could use a strap. If it's hard for you to hold the leg on its own, it shouldn't be a dead heavy log. What do you call it? A dead wood? Dead log. It shouldn't just like you have to yank it up there. You should be able to hold a little bit, but if it's not quite strong enough on its own, use the strap. Now don't have the arms way out here on this one. You want to have the hands really close to the leg and just helping. You can have the strap wherever you like. If you don't need it though, same thing. I want you to bring the knee up in front. And this is just a little practice. We're not going to be here too long because I want you to save your strength for when we try to extend the legs or balance longer. So when you do the other one, same thing, either using the strap, stand tall as you pull that leg up in front. Don't let a lot of things happen here. Try to find your balance, whatever you want to do with those arms. Again, play around with it. If you notice that you're losing your balance, try to make your body find the balance again, right? That's part of it, is our brain learning how to find that balance. Where do I have to shift to get back to the middle? All right, so if you've done both sides, now this one might be better with a loop. I'm gonna try it with a loop. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm gonna just loop my strap. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to have you, if you want to try the straight leg, you're going to still, you don't have to lift the whole leg up like this if you don't want to. You can still bring it up with a bent knee and then extend it. I'm going to use the loop because I don't have to have both hands then, right? I can just use the same hand as the leg, extend it out. I can have my other hand on the hip or out here or wherever. Or you can put the hand on the other strap, doesn't matter. But I do want you to try to extend that leg forward. And if it's just way more than you can do, you're leaning way back, then just go to a bent knee. Again, possibly using the strap or not. If you know that you can grab onto that toe, I don't know if I could do it, and extend that leg out, then you can try that. So what does help when we eventually get to that leg going out is to not have to rely on both hands, because it does shift our balance a little bit. So if you can work it with the same arm as leg, that's ideal. When you have done that side, you stay however long you want to. We're going to try the other side. So same thing. Loop the foot. Start by just bringing the knee up and seeing how it feels if you extend the leg out. Again, maybe you've got two straps, maybe you've just, or two hands, maybe you've just got the one. Even with the strap, you can practice taking the leg out. I'm not too good on that side. But I am going to try without the strap. So again, that's another option. So start in mountain pose. Even if you loop that toe, you need to come back to mountain pose as you extend the leg out. Ooh, that's hard. Do we want the body moving forward? Not really. Try to pull the chest back, but we have to be aware of our limitations as well. So, if you've done both sides, I hope you've had a little bit of luck, a little bit of success. You either did it with the knee bent, or maybe with the leg straight, trying that a little bit. But we'll try to work on that maybe once a month so we can see some progress. So, we are ready to start moving back to the mat. You can move that strap out of the way. Okay. Come back to the top of your mat if you're not there. Find that perfect mountain pose. Before we move on, I want you to be here for 3 full breaths. All right, next inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, dive into your forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend, hands to the mat, come into your plank. Inhale as you arrive. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Now we're going to go into our downward dog one more time. We're going to do a quick little kneeling lunge here. So if you want to approach it from hands and knees, you can do that. I'm going to try to get to it from my downward dog. Step forward right, drop the left knee. Have your blocks handy if you need them. But as we come up, we want to try to really push the hips forward, lift the heart, bring those arms up, shoulders down. 3 breaths. All right, bring the hands down, come to your downward dog again, or hands and knees. And stepping left, right knee comes down behind us. Come to your kneeling lunge on this side. Bring the arms up, shoulders down. All right, come back to downward dog last time. And from here, we're going to bring the legs under us. Quickly stretch them out in front of you. Let's come to a forward bend here. Once the legs are extended, hips are nice and even, arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lead with the heart. Exhale, forward bend. Get yourself deeper into that forward bend. And as you come out of it, you can bend the knees a little bit. You're going to roll all the way down onto your back. Once you get here, just bring those knees into the chest and roll side to side. Just massage that lower back. I have to tell you guys, I started doing this little series of stretches that you do in bed before you get out of bed in the morning. I've been waking up super early, which I've never done my whole life. The last couple of years it's become, I've been trying to do it more, and then now with the time change it's happening more easily. But I found this little Instagram thing of these exercises you do in bed as you're getting out of bed. So when I get out of bed, I don't walk like I'm 90 years old. And it's really great. So if you're interested at all, message me and I'll try to send the link to you through an email or text. It's on Instagram. I don't know if you're on Instagram. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's like 5 things you do pretty quickly. It doesn't take that long, but it really helps when you get out of bed. Anyway, okay, so moving on. Let's do a little twist. Open the arms if you've got some room. Now, take a breath in. Exhale, knees are going to go right. We're going to look to the left. We do want to try to get that bottom leg all the way down to the floor. Top knee is over it. Shoulders are staying even. A couple more here. All right, bring those knees up as you inhale. Exhale, drop them to the left and look to the right. I was afraid that my talking going on and on was taking up too much time, but we're still good. Inhale, bring the knees back up. All right. Now, let's go into a single leg. So we want to go to the right first. So let's stretch the right leg out. Keep that left knee pulled in. All right, one more inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right with that left knee. Same thing. You want to keep the foot attached. Want to see how far the knee can go, but shoulder's more important, so keep that shoulder down. Head can go wherever you like. All right, now as we come onto our back, before we do the other leg, let's do a quick thread the needle. So left foot on the right knee. Now you can stay right here, just helping with a little external pressure, using the hand I love that, or the way that it feels in the backside, but your other option is bringing that right foot up. So wherever you feel like you get the most benefit, you should try that one. All right. If you want to start circling the ankles here, you can do that. All right, so then we're going to uncross. Both knees are in again. We're getting ready to go the other way. So we're going to keep the right knee in and the left leg goes all the way out. So give it a moment to lengthen here from that hip. And then when you're ready, inhale, open the right arm, other left hand goes to the right knee and twist across. And remember, just make sure you do them both if you're on an opposite leg than I am. Shoulders even. All right, as we come out of that, same thing, foot to the knee, thread the needle, foot staying on the ground, foot coming off the ground. All right, uncross. Now, before we finish up, I want to go up into bridge pose. So bring your feet to the mat, get everything aligned again. Take a breath in and out. On the next inhale, come to your bridge pose slowly. So inch by inch, think of each little part peeling up and coming up to the top of that bridge and staying there. Lift the chest up, lift the hips up, press your hands and feet pretty actively into the mat. Stay there. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift the hips a tiny bit higher. Exhale, roll it down, inch by inch. Again, I want you to try to feel each little part of the spine. I know it's hard, at least this is a hard one for me. When you get to the bottom, you are going to take a full breath in and out. All right, here we go. Second time, inhale, take your time rolling up. Keep the knees where they are. Don't let them move in and out, or in or out. Get to the top, press high, press into the mat. Stay there, exhale. Press a little higher, stretch more into the shoulders and the front of your hips. Stay there, exhale. One more, inhale, lift a little higher if you can. And exhale, roll it back down. This time when you feel the hips get all the way to the mat, we're going to bring those knees in again and roll side to side. All right, both feet up, flex and point them, move them around a little bit. We're going to do one last little twist, and this one is with the feet and knees apart, just in our bent knees pose, keeping them apart when we go into the twist so that the knees are not touching. They're going to be very off from each other. Feet as well, you're going to have one edge of one foot and the other edge of the opposite edge of the opposite foot, right? So we know this one. Open the arms a little bit. Take a breath in and out. On the next inhale, prepare. Exhale, drop the knees one side. I'm dropping to the right. So the outside edge of my right leg, and actually the whole outside of my right leg is on the mat, but my left leg is just kind of hovering. My knee, if I force it down, it's going to be near my right calf. The inside edge of my left foot is on the mat. Again, I just like this one. I feel like it hits everything a little bit differently, both in the hips and the lower back. All right, next inhale, come up. You should still be in that same bent knees position. Exhale, drop the other way. You can see better now how my knees are not together at all. But the left leg is pretty much completely on the mat. inside edge of the right foot on the mat. All right, inhale, bring those knees back up. Let's come into happy baby now. How does it compare to when you were in happy baby earlier? Any variation, any kind of movement you like adding here? Feel free to do that. Two more breaths here. And again, keep moving, keep enjoying that. And then we're going to slowly bring the legs together and bring them down. Stretch the legs out long. Take your arms overhead. As you get into that overhead stretch, inhale and stretch even more from those fingertips down to your toes. Exhale, relax. Leave those arms overhead. Take a breath or two here while you're just resting. Inhale, stretch and hold. Exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch and hold. On that exhale now, arms are going to come a little lower. We're going to open those legs. Now turn the shoulders under a little bit. Let the arms open up. Let the palms drop open. But don't try to force your palms to stay open. Let them relax a little bit. Eyes are closed, and we should be focusing just on our breathing now. This part is just as important as everything else that we did today. So take the breath in. Let it out. Still try to use just the inhale and exhale through the nose. And we're feeling this now naturally down to the belly still, right? It's slow and deep. And as we exhale, we still try to keep that body relaxed. Don't let that tension creep back in yet. All right, you can stay resting a little longer if you like. You're ready to bring yourself back up. Try to move slowly. Let your breathing become a little more normal. Move the fingers and toes just a little bit. And then the hands and feet, movements a little bit more when you're ready to make this way back up. I'm going to come back over to you. Say namaste, namaste. Stop the recording. Guys,